Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Ipswich Central Redevelopment Committee this 15th day of September. We'll start with the acknowledgement of country. Ipswich City Council respectfully acknowledges the traditional owners as custodians of the land upon which we meet. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging as the keepers of the traditions, cultures and stories of a proud people. I'll now move on to the condolence for the passing of Queen Elizabeth. On behalf of Ipswich City Council and the residents of Ipswich, I wish to acknowledge the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This loss has been felt deeply across our community. In this period of mourning and reflection, we remember Her Majesty's long life of devoted and dedicated service to the peoples of the Commonwealth. May she rest in peace. Does anybody have any declarations of interest in matters on the agenda today? No? We have no business outstanding, so I will move on to the confirmation of minutes, which is item 1, and that is the confirmation of minutes of the Ipswich Central Redevelopment Committee of the 11th of August 2022. The recommendation being that the minutes be confirmed. I'll move that. Is there a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Milligan. We'll now put the matter to the vote. All those in favour? Around the room, that's unanimous and carried. Moving on to item number 2, which is the first of the officers' reports. That is the report providing a post-event wrap-up of the Building Better Blocks and Neighbourhoods placemaking event held in Ipswich on Friday the 12th. Could I call on the relevant council officer to come forward, please? Would you please state your name and title?
Erin Marchant, Project Manager for Ipswich Central.
Thank you, Ms Marchant. Well, we all know that the Building Better Blocks event was a huge success. And if you can just give us a little bit of a recap, but on a serious note, are you able to just go over why placemaking is such an activation is such an important part as we redevelop our CBD and try and breathe life in? We have our Nicholas Street precinct and the development and bringing on new tenants and new businesses, which is very exciting, and we're getting lots of people in visiting, which is great, but there's another piece that we've been working on.
Yeah, sure. So highlights for the event for me were definitely the placemaking part that happened down in 1 Nicholas Street. We had 87 people pay to come to that event. We got 7 other local governments come along and 4 state government departments, which is a real nod to the placemaking movement in Queensland. Unfortunately, we are a little bit behind the other states in Australia. So to have an event that's so successful and sold out is actually a really big achievement. The second part of the day, which was up in Darcy Doyle, was also such an achievement for not only council but for the Ipswich Central Partnership. They worked with us and collaborated to deliver what actually transformed on the day, which was a pallet stage. We did some painting on the pavement, we did an engagement stand, we did pallet furniture, we had tyre seats, and we had painting of artworks. So all up, they actually helped with us and worked together and delivered a really successful event, which then they followed on and delivered their own event, which was Unlock the Block. The talent show was amazing, attracted people from far and wide, and we had an excellent evening with kids' games on the grass and food around, plus also I know Indian Mefil really benefited from having that activation up there as well. The placemaking approach that we've taken with the Ipswich Central Revitalisation is different. So a normal traditional approach, you might look at doing a background review on different projects that are already underway. You might draft up a master plan, engage with the community, and then present something final, and then implement. But the approach that we've taken is people-centred. So really, we started with that co-design vision and identity for Ipswich Central. We've worked on a couple of different little trials of projects. Events and activations is really where we're sort of sitting at the moment, but also building that local capacity with the Ipswich Central Partnership to show that they can deliver as alongside council or as the lead. And place governance within our own council internally, but also externally, again, working with the partnership group. And obviously our locally led place plans have been key with the activation. We've actually delivered on a number of those place plans, recommendations. Some of them we have led ourselves, and some of them we have got the Ipswich Central Partnership to work on themselves, and then we've just assisted and enabled them where we can. We've also worked on reducing red tape and making it easier for people in the future. And I guess the big part about placemaking is it really combines it's a real holistic approach. It's that economic, the commercial, the social, and the environmental and sustainability of the approach. It's really about citizen-led development and developing deeper connections to places, because we know that sticky places are places that people want to be and stay.
Thank you, Ms. Marchant. Does anyone have any questions? No. Thank you. The recommendation is that the report be received and the contents noted. I will move that. Could I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Mayor. Now open up for discussion. Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to congratulate the Ipswich Central Partnerships on their community-led leadership in this event and other events. And our council is very happy to be enabling their activities. This event led me to an internet search, and there's a lot of other organisations throughout the world that are doing the same thing and providing some tremendous leadership and some great ideas about what we could do. We talked here about a couple of the takeaway messages. The one that I got was saying to the community, don't ask for what you want, ask for what you can contribute. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And of course, I too want to acknowledge the fabulous work of the Ipswich Central Partnership Group, a group of passionate residents who are dedicating to help rebuilding Ipswich Central and making it a fantastic place to visit and stay. So, thank you. Mayor?
Hi, Chair. I think you're right. Anything that's community-led is always going to be much better for our community. So it's great to see these Central Partnerships do that. And I agree with Councillor Kunzelman, but ask what you can contribute. But I also took away from that, in council we're often doing so much long-term planning. It's good to focus on what can we do right now, what can we do today. So that was a good message, I think, from that program. It was a great day.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was such a fantastic day, and listening to the key speakers, including Stephen Burgess, I would love to have them on board for a lot longer. That key ingredient, how do you ever define, that ingredient that brings people into Ipswich Central, into our CBD, and encourages them to stay and meet. Okay, if there's nothing more, We'll put the matter to the vote. All those in favour? Looking around, that's unanimous and carried. Thank you. Moving on to item 3, which is a report concerning the August 2022 for the Retail Sub-Project Steering Committee on the status of the leasing program and associated developments with the retail component. Can I call on the relevant council officer? Thank you, Mr. Hepburn, and welcome back.
Thank you.
Can we just have a brief overview of the leasing program, please, where we're at?
Yeah. To date, as you can see, we've got Zambrero, Gelatissimo and Terry White Chemists, along with that dumpling successfully open. The announcement of Hoyt's, nearly a month ago now, has helped drive that leasing a bit harder. And currently, only last week, we had the Vietnamese that we've reported on Bum Bum Bao actually also execute their documents. So handover to them will be happening in the coming weeks. Currently on site, we have the Sushi Hayo and the Stella Rossa teams fitting out. So behind those hoardings are the cafe and the sushi train taking place, with openings looking to come towards the back end of October, early November at this stage. There has been one new deal this month and since I've been away, and that is to replace the burger chain that we were talking about that sits on Bottle Alley with a similar burger chain, but this one has more of a local twist to it. We can't release who it is just yet, but it's quite an exciting brand evolution for the city centre. So all in all, generally the food leasing is going quite well. We now need to start picking up with the internal Metro B mall and trying to bring forwards the nail bar, the skin clinic, and then hopefully a bank over the next couple of weeks or months.
My question was going to be off the back of the Hoyt's announcement. Have we seen an increase in interest through the leasing team?
Certainly in the big format restaurants we have, and there has been a lot of discussions already with the leisure operators. Anyone in the bowling, laser tag, in that sort of fun entertainment style offer have immediately got back in contact with us off the announcement of Hoyt's, which is great news. And hopefully that will lead us into a flurry of activity this side of Christmas to try and set the theme and the tenant lineup for the venue building in particular for its opening towards the back end of next year.
Okay, if we turn our mind to Christmas, when we'll see a lot of our residents coming to Ipswich Central, you know, the Christmas light experience, how many tenants are we looking to have opened by then?
So we'll have the existing four that I've mentioned. We'll have the Sushi Hayo and we will have Stella Rossa open. There is a chance that we can get Bum Bum Bao open, but that's subject to quite a bit of pushing and, dare I say it, some luck on procuring of materials for their fit out. And that would essentially conclude our lineup for Christmas.
Okay, so the burger offering on Bottle Alley?
That will take another couple of months worth of legals before we are able to bring it forward to this committee for approval to then move into that delivery phase.
Okay. Mayor, do you have any questions? No? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The recommendation is that the August 2022 Retail Sub-Project Steering Committee report be received and the contents noted. Could I have a mover, please? Thank you, Mayor. And a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Milligan. Now open up for discussion. No discussion? Okay, we will put the matter to the vote. All those in favour? Noting that's unanimous and carried. Moving on to the last item on the agenda, which is the Nicholas Street Precinct Communications Engagement and Events Report for August 2022. Does anybody have any questions for the relevant council officer? No? The recommendation that the Nicholas Street Precinct Communications Engagement and Events Monthly Report be received and the contents noted. I will move that. Could I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Mayor Harding. Now open up for discussion. Councillor Kunzelman? No? No. It's all right. Okay, we'll put the matter to the vote. Sorry, Mayor.
I was
Sorry.
going to say, and I guess because the school holidays are on next week, it's great to see a great lineup for the school holidays again, to activate Toowoomba Place, especially with the children's library there as well. And just look forward to what the Christmas program will be. It was huge last year, and so look forward to seeing that coming up.
Yes, I note we have a number of parent groups that now watch very closely the what's on in the precinct, which is fantastic. And you know, it's a day trip now to visit the library, the dedicated children's library, and attend some of those activities. And that's what the civic space in the children's library was all about. So it's great to see it a huge success. Okay, we'll put the matter to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous and carried. We have no notices of motion, no matters arising, so I will close the meeting at 1:41. Thank you.